Good morning everyone and welcome to the Equip Super annual member meeting for the 2022-23 financial year. Most of you won't know me, so I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Michael Cameron and I was appointed the Chair on the 1st of November this year. It's a great pleasure to be with you all. I've got some other introductions to make, but before I do, I'd like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land from which I'm speaking today. Joining me today is our CEO, Scott Cameron, our Chief Investment Officer, Andrew Howard, and our Chief Member Officer, Alexis Harrison. We also have other board members and executives in attendance. So thank you to everyone for taking the time to join us today. As we have a quorum of directors, as well as our auditor and plan actuaries present, it's my pleasure to declare today's annual member meeting open. Now, it's important to note that the information we cover today and the presentation that you'll see are general in nature and relate to the fund as a whole. This information doesn't take into account personal circumstances such as your individual investments or your financial objectives. If you'd like individual financial advice, we have financial planners who would be happy to assist you. We've included a contact number at the end of the presentation for your reference. In our meeting today, I'll make some opening remarks on behalf of the board, and then I'll hand over to Scott to present on behalf of the executive team. Andrew will follow with a look at our investments for the year and will provide some insights into the current outlook and what they mean for the fund. We'll then hear from Alexis, who will share how we're supporting you and others through the working lives and your retirement. Our goal is to continually improve the services, the products, and the interactions that we have with you. Alexis will share details regarding 3 big updates that have occurred since last year. There will be then time to ask questions. We've already received a number of questions prior to the meeting, and it's great to see such strong interest and engagement from our members. Now, you can ask us questions during the meeting, if you'd like to, by using the Ask Question function, which is located on the right side of your screen. If you're asking a question today, we can only take questions about the fund itself. If you have specific questions about your personal account or your circumstances, please direct these to the helpline and we'll provide you with their number at the end of today's session. If we don't get a chance to answer all of the questions submitted today due to time constraints, written responses will be provided to every question that's been asked, and these will be included in the meeting minutes, which will be available on our website in January. I'd now like to introduce you to the trustee board, and they're appearing on the screens now. Over the year, we had 9 people on our board. Each board member brings a tremendous level of experience, skill and commitment to our fund and of course to our values. The board has 3 employer representatives, 3 member representatives and 3 independent directors. As mandated, the chair is a board-appointed independent director. So this mix allows us the flexibility to attract and select high calibre people who, as a minimum, meet all of the requirements that we have under the legislative standards. I'd like to acknowledge the tenure of member director Jan Dekker, who left the board on the 30th of June this year after more than 6 years of service with the fund. On behalf of the board, I sincerely thank Jan for his valued contribution. We welcomed Julian Witt to the board in the position of member director on the 1st of July 2023. Julian has more than 15 years experience working in the superannuation industry with significant board experience and expertise in investment governance, business, finance and risk management. As a qualified actuary and an economist, Julian has advised major super funds and served as a director for many Australian and international companies. The core focus of the board and the executives, and in fact the whole team, is to provide the best possible retirement outcomes for members. The fund has been helping Australians grow their super and plan for their future for more than 90 years now. During that time, we've guided the fund and the savings of members through the introduction of the Superannuation Guarantee Scheme, the global financial crisis, pandemics, and a period of significant fund growth. Our commitment to our members has not wavered and is the foundation of everything we do. Today, we offer super, financial advice and retirement income accounts to more than 140,000 members Australia-wide. And we work with just over 9,400 different employers to deliver super and retirement benefits to their employees. The partnership we share with these employers is a standout feature of the way we operate. We believe that working closely with our employers is critical to helping our members achieve the best possible outcomes. We continue to have strong relationships with the utilities, mining and automotive industries, as well as with the health and education sectors. We're proud to be a fund for all employers and all Australians. Now, it's testament to the tremendous efforts of the whole team that we continue to be recognised and awarded by independent rating agencies. Super Ratings has awarded Equip Super their highest platinum performance rating as Best Value for Money fund for more than 14 years in a row now, both our super and retirement income products. We also received a 5 Apples rating from Chant West again in 2023, which is the highest quality rating a super fund can get from Chant West. And only a couple of weeks ago, we were again awarded the Money Magazine Best of the Best Award for our death and TBD insurance offer. That's the 3rd year in a row. We also won the Member Education Award for Super Ratings Annual Super Fund of the Year Awards in October this year. I congratulate the team for these results. It's fantastic. They reflect the hard work and the dedication that goes into providing our members with the products and services that you've come to expect. Now, as a new director, not yet 2 months in my tenure, I've had the good fortune to arrive at a very exciting time of the fund's overall development and growth trajectory. The past year has seen a whole of fund focus on our key One Fund initiative, a multi-year, multi-team program of work. The objective of One Fund was to fully integrate the operations of Catholic Super with Equip Super, simplifying our overall operations and consolidating our foundations. So Scott will talk more about this in a few moments. With the various initiatives and improvements associated with One Fund taking effect on the 1st of July, the fund is well positioned for the future. I'd now like to take a moment to acknowledge the contribution of my predecessor, Danny Casey, and the role he's played in helping position our fund for growth. Danny stepped down as chair of the board on the 31st of October this year, having been an integral part of our fund and the Catholic Super Fund for the past 6 years. Danny's leadership and stewardship were pivotal in guiding the fund, not just through the joint venture in 2019, but also through the global pandemic that has dominated the past few years. His ability to prioritise our members has been instrumental in shaping a strategy and culture that drives the best possible superannuation experiences, products, services, and retirement outcomes for our members. So on behalf of the board, I extend our sincere thanks to Danny for his dedication and leadership, and we wish him every success in his future endeavours. So I'll now hand over to our CEO, Scott Cameron, who will take you through the fund's achievements over the past financial year, including the One Fund program and what it means for members and the fund in the coming year. Thanks, Scott.
Well, thanks, Michael, and good morning, everyone. It's great to have you with us here today. And I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Michael, who, as he said, is still relatively new to our fund, having just joined us on the 1st of November. But I think it's a great opportunity for you all to hear us from Michael today, so early into his tenure as chair of Equip Super. So welcome aboard, Michael. And he comes to us with a great deal of knowledge and expertise in investments, finance, strategy, and people leadership. He's also an experienced non-executive director and board chair. So again, Michael, welcome to the fund. Each year, this annual member meeting gives us an opportunity to look back over the year that was, and also to give a sense of our priorities and expectations as a fund for the year ahead. And looking back, the past financial year wasn't without its challenges. We saw ongoing conflict in Ukraine. We saw cost of living pressures, successive interest rate rises both locally and also overseas, and high levels of market volatility. But pleasingly, despite these challenges and their overall impact on markets, all of the fund's investment options delivered positive returns for members for the year to 30 June 2023. The Equip MySuper investment option returned 9.84% for the year, and leading independent rating agencies, Chant West and Super Ratings, each placed our balanced growth investment option in their top 10 performing balanced growth options for the year, achieving a return of 10.06% for the period. And the balanced growth option has provided an average annual return of 7.83% over the past 10 years. And look, they are very pleasing results for the fund and you, our members. And in a few moments, Andrew Howard, our Chief Investment Officer, will provide you with more detail on markets and how we're positioning the fund's portfolio. Financial year 2023 was a pivotal year for the fund, and I'd now like to talk to some of the significant developments and milestones for the fund during the year. As a fund, our core purpose is to support you prepare for financial freedom in retirement. Our strategy for growth is essential to helping us achieve that. Growing our fund allows us to achieve greater economies of scale, which increases our capacity to deliver a range of important benefits for you, our members. A key benefit is increased value for money, as greater scale helps us to keep our fees lower for members. And following on from our merger with Catholic Super, for example, in 2022, we decreased the asset-based fee for our retirement income and transition to retirement members from 0.25% to 0.20%. And from 1 July this year, we decreased the asset-based fee from 0.25% to 0.22% for our accumulation members and also our defined benefit members who also have accumulation accounts. Increased scale also paves the way for the provision of better member services. It gives us access to broader investment expertise and a wider range of investment opportunities. It also assists us in keeping up with the ever-increasing regulatory and compliance requirements, but it's really important to get the balance right. With approximately $32 billion in funds under management, we're currently at a size where we believe we're big enough to add value for our members, but still small enough to care. Our strategy for growth is designed to help us achieve the best of both worlds for our members, to increase opportunity and the value we provide, but also maintain that personal level of service and care that we're known for in the industry. It's what most members expect to receive from us as your super fund, and it's something that we will continually strive to deliver on. In previous years, Equip Super has undergone significant growth, including finalising the successor fund transfer with Catholic Super and the transition of corporate schemes such as Toyota Super and BOC Super. And over the past year, our focus has turned to simplification and consolidation through our flagship strategic program, which we referred to as One Fund. One Fund's key objective was to strengthen the fund and position us for future growth by streamlining our operations and product offering across the Equip Super and Catholic Super brands. And it took a whole of fund effort, with all of our people playing a role in its delivery. And I was particularly proud of the level of cross-fund collaboration we achieved as we worked to deliver this program of work. And as a result, we entered this financial year with one MySuper product, one investment choice menu, one set of fees, one central administrative database, and importantly, one way of doing things. And over time, One Fund will deliver a range of benefits for our members, including an overall reduction in fees, a more streamlined and consistent service experience, and an improved menu of investment options, all with a view to helping us maximise your retirement outcomes. And alongside the One Fund program of work, we undertook a number of additional projects to further pave the way for growth. We invested extensive research, time and expertise in preparing for the launch of a refreshed brand for Equip Super on the 1st of July 2023. Members and employers told us that our brand is arguably one of the most important assets, and they expected the refreshed look and feel to accurately represent our core brand values: positive, precise and proactive, indicative of an industry-leading superannuation fund. We achieved that and much more, and feel that this brand will hold us in good stead for many years to come. We also enhanced our digital capability, rebuilding our 2 primary websites from the ground up, with greater personalisation and information tailored to where you are in life. And we were very pleased to win the Best Member Education Award for 2024, as judged by Super Ratings, and that's due in large part to the work we've been doing in the digital space, and the work we're also doing across our advice and other education channels. We further improved our default TPD insurance cover with a number of key changes. For example, we simplified and broadened the eligibility for making a TPD claim for those members who believe they're unlikely to ever be able to return to work because of illness or injury. Now, the changes did result in a slight increase in the overall cost of TPD cover for our members from 1 July 2023 onwards. But on balance, we believe the overall package of changes will be more beneficial for more members who find themselves in a situation where they may need to claim on their cover. And we were delighted to receive external recognition for our default insurance offer again this year, with Money Magazine awarding us Best Value Death and TPD Insurance in Super for both women and men in 2024, and that's for the 3rd year in a row. And someone who's been very much involved with these initiatives is our Chief Member Office, Alexis Harrison. And Alexis and the Member Office team are primarily focused in the overall experiences we provide for you, our members. And shortly, Alexis will take you through our retirement approach, as well as our refreshed brand, digital enhancements and product improvements. Each of these initiatives is designed to provide you with better and more consistent experiences from your superannuation fund. One program of work that's always ongoing for the fund is the continuous assessment and strengthening of our approaches to cybersecurity. Member privacy and the security of our members' funds is of paramount importance to us. We have a dedicated data governance and security team that's responsible for our data governance policy, our associated systems and processes, and 24/7 monitoring of our networks. The team works with external security specialists to implement multiple security measures, including strict data handling protocols. And we also conduct regular audits and tests to ensure that systems and processes are working. Cybersecurity threats are constantly evolving, so it's critical to remain as vigilant as possible and as adaptable as possible. Some of the measures we've undertaken over the course of the year include tightening our data loss prevention safeguards, expanding our capabilities in proactively seeking out potential threats, and reinforcing our technology infrastructure and operational capabilities. We're also at the early stage of exploring the benefits, capabilities, and potential impacts of artificial intelligence, or otherwise known as AI. As part of that, we've assessed our current identity verification processes, and the team's working to protect us from the threats of AI identity replication. Of course, AI is a rapidly evolving landscape, and we'll continue to monitor for any developing threats to our existing systems in this area. And I think it's important to take this opportunity to reinforce for all of our members that we will never ask you to provide personal information via social media or SMS. If you do receive such a message purporting to be from Equip Super, you should delete it and contact us directly. Similarly, with email, if you're receiving an email claiming to be from us, but it looks suspicious, or if it's particularly unexpected, then don't hesitate to notify us to verify whether we've actually sent you this communication. And the same would apply to a phone call from someone claiming to be from Equip Super. If you have any concerns about whether it's a legitimate call, please ask for the person's name, then hang up and call us directly to verify the caller. As I said, threats to the security of your personal data and information are always evolving, and they're becoming increasingly sophisticated. So it's on all of us to remain vigilant and err on the side of caution when you need to. Throughout the year, we've continued to work closely with our employers. We have more than 9,400 employers Australia-wide across a range of industries. Many are household names, including Rio Tinto, Toyota, Origin Energy and Melbourne Water. Our national team of relationship managers visited workplaces at all the corners of the country, delivering workplace seminars, providing super health checks, sharing tips on how to boost your super, and offering referrals to personal advice from Equip Financial Planning. And of course, none of what I've talked about would be possible without the team here at Equip Super. And we know that employing, training and supporting a talented team is essential to ultimately providing great experiences for you, our members. It's also essential to our continued growth as a fund. Over the past year, we undertook an extensive review of our people frameworks, policies, systems and processes. We implemented a range of new programs and initiatives to support our people, drive employee engagement and foster and enable a high-performance, risk-conscious culture. The result is a stronger foundation for our people and our fund, which positions us better for the future. This year we reset and refreshed our values. Values underpin the employee experience and the culture at Equip Super. We ran a series of workshops to educate our people on new values, expectations for behaviour and the role that everyone plays in achieving our strategy and vision. Those values are members first, accountability, respect and collaboration. And they're really more than just the words. These values are the guiding principles, the fundamental beliefs that help us function together as a team as we work towards our vision and purpose. This year we introduced the Equip Superstars program. It's a monthly award that recognises team members who bring these values and the objectives of Equip Super to life and achieve a great outcome for our members and our fund. Recognising and rewarding employees is important in every business and helps build a culture where people strive to do their best. This year we recognised 20 superstars for their efforts and achievements, from collaborating when implementing new systems for the fund or taking accountability for a complex issue from start to finish and working to achieve a resolution for the member, exemplifying that core value of members first. We continue to develop new learning and development opportunities across all levels to upskill and train our people, including new employee learning programs, new people leader forums and new leader development programs, and a new senior leader development program. And importantly, we know these initiatives and improvements are having a positive effect. We've seen a substantial increase in our employee engagement score over the past 18 months, and we know that if our people are more engaged, then they are creating better experiences for you, our members. I want to thank our team for their continued commitment and dedication and for all that we've achieved over the past year. And I'd now like to hand over to Andrew Howard, Andrew, our Chief Investment Officer, and he will take us through a look at markets and fund performance. So over to you, Andrew.
Great, thank you, Scott. And I'd just like to extend my warm welcome to everybody joining us today. And with the movements that we're seeing in markets at the moment, no doubt you're all keen to know how that's been impacting the fund and how we manage the fund's portfolio through a fairly volatile market environment. I will certainly be addressing that today. But first, I'd like to briefly touch on the One Fund program of work that Scott mentioned in his presentation and the impact that work has had for the investment offer. A core objective of One Fund was to streamline our investment offering across Equip Super and Catholic Super. Throughout the year, the investment team undertook the extensive groundwork required to fulfil this substantial piece of work. This alignment of the fund's investment offer means we entered the new year with a single set of investment options across Equip Super and Catholic Super. This will increase our operating efficiency as a fund in the future, and that helps to keep our costs lower for you, our members. Turning now to investments and performance. I'd like to briefly outline the fund's investment strategy and the very important role it plays in our ability to provide members with strong, long-term returns. Our core objective as the manager of your super and retirement savings is to grow your wealth over time, so you're better equipped for financial freedom throughout retirement. In order to achieve that, we take an active approach to managing investments. That means we make proactive investment choices based on market conditions. At the same time, we're patient, disciplined, and not distracted by short-term market noise. While financial markets present opportunities and risks that we manage over shorter timeframes, our main focus is on delivering strong returns over the longer term. We fundamentally believe that as long-term investors, we can afford to be patient when it comes to riding out the day-to-day ups and downs in markets. Our active investment strategy is designed to navigate all market conditions, protecting your savings during downturns and maximising your returns when markets rise. And while periods of volatility can be unsettling for some investors, in our view, not only are they a very normal part of investing, they can actually yield opportunities for investors with a longer time horizon. Diversification is also at the forefront of our investment strategy, and importantly, not just across asset classes, but also within them. We believe diversification is the most important tool we have to combat the effects of shorter-term volatility in investment markets, as it allows us to take advantage of those investment opportunities in different asset classes as and when they arise. Responsible investment also forms a key element of our active management approach. This includes how we consider issues like climate change, human rights and inclusion, and diversity in our investment process. This doesn't mean that we're taking a moral or ethical view. It does mean that we're considering how this type of information may impact on the performance of an investment. And any investment decision we make is done through the lens of members' best financial interests. We invest in almost every industry and across a number of markets and geographies. This means our investments can be influenced by issues like how the rights of workers are protected, the impact of environmental degradation on water quality and availability, and how social inclusion and diversity can affect political stability. These types of issues can impact our portfolio beyond any one company or investment. And we can also benefit from encouraging more sustainable economies and markets, and actions both individually and collectively to reduce the economic risk presented by ESG challenges. As we outlined in the annual report, in the 2023 financial year, we've taken a number of steps to improve our approach. For example, by joining a collaborative engagement initiative that includes investors across Australia and Asia, seeking to encourage companies to find, fix, and prevent modern slavery in their operations and supply chain. Another example is the continued focus on climate change and related impacts to our investment portfolio. Our approach is focused on real-world change, addressing the risk climate change poses to our investments over the long term and, where we can, investing in the solutions and technologies that are driving change and delivering returns. We also work with our engagement partners and industry groups to encourage change at both a company and regulatory level. We aim to not only drive the transition away from carbon-intensive industries, but also support the development of cleaner technologies and investment in infrastructure and initiatives that are crucial to a lower carbon economy. Equip Super has joined Climate Action 100+, an investor-led group that aims to encourage those companies that are the largest emitters across the globe to take action to address the impact of their operations on climate change. For many companies and industries, we believe that using our influence to encourage investment, collaboration, and ultimately change is a more effective method of risk mitigation than divestment. Divestment is our very last step, because we know that when we divest from companies, we lose our seat at the table and limit our ability to encourage actions needed to change either processes or invest in new technologies that will speed up the pace and increase the scale of the transition. Whilst climate change is a focus of many of our members, our approach to responsible investment has been designed to also address other systemic social and environmental issues across our investments. You can read more about this in our responsible investment policy, which is available on our website. We do recognise, however, that some members would prefer their super is not invested in certain industries or sectors. With this in mind, this year we've launched our Future Focus investment option. Future Focus has been designed to have higher exposure compared to the default MySuper option to investments that have been selected based on their alignment to certain ESG criteria, and also has specific sustainability criteria for key asset classes. We know that issues like labour rights and health and safety impact not only on portfolio returns, but also the lives and livelihoods of our members. Through our responsible investment activities, we can focus on how we use our influence as well as our investments to help drive change in these key areas. So now let's turn to look at fund performance for the financial year ended 30 June 2023. And Scott touched on it earlier, where we delivered top 10 performance over the course of the financial year. But for us, importantly, it is over the long term that counts. And pleasingly, all of our investment options delivered positive returns for the year to 30 June 2023, which was a great outcome for members. Those returns were aided by the strong performance in equity markets across the year. However, despite this very strong performance, one concern we flagged in our end-of-year reporting to members was the apparent disconnect between this positive momentum in equities and the underlying economy itself. The question remains whether interest rates will need to remain higher for longer in order to bring inflation back down to targeted levels. Inflation in the US remains stubbornly high, and the US economy has been surprisingly resilient. And this is despite the US Federal Reserve raising interest rates 500 basis points since the beginning of this rate hike cycle. It needs to be remembered that there'll be a lag between the increase in interest rates and the subsequent impact on the underlying economy. And in addition to the market grappling with the question of how much longer interest rates need to remain at current levels, we now have geopolitical risks at levels not experienced for many years, with the tragic events unfolding in the Israel-Hamas conflict. Moreover, the ongoing war in Ukraine continues to show no signs of a peaceful resolution. All of this adds to the uncertainty that investors are experiencing right now. But it's in this environment where we're reminded of the importance of being disciplined in the execution of our investment strategy. Over the past 12 months, and in line with our overarching strategy, we've repositioned the portfolio by trimming equities and increasing our exposure to cash and bonds. With interest rates now quite high relative to recent history, we think bonds and cash offer attractive prospective returns. We receive many questions from members around the performance of bonds during volatile market periods. Bonds play an important role in our portfolios. They provide a stable income, are very liquid, and most importantly, provide excellent diversification benefits within portfolios that have allocations to riskier investments. Bonds typically perform well when share markets are doing poorly. However, whilst bonds are generally more stable and less risky than shares, there can be periods where bonds produce negative returns. Returns for bonds are inversely related to the direction of market yields. As yields fall, bonds produce positive capital returns. When yields rise, bonds produce a negative capital return. Recently, as inflation has risen sharply, central banks around the world have lifted interest rates to levels we haven't seen for a long time. In Australia, the RBA has lifted the cash rate from 0.1% in March 2022 to 4.35% today. The rise in cash rates has resulted in yields across bonds also rising, generating a negative return. Whilst the last couple of years has been a poor environment for bonds, the positive is that market interest rates are now much higher. This means that moving forward, the environment for bonds is likely to be much better, and there is ample scope for central banks to lower interest rates should inflation settle down or the economy weaken. We believe exposure to these traditional defensive investments will assist in providing downside protection over the medium term and lead to a smoother pattern of return over what we think will be a potentially challenging environment for investors in the coming year. Rest assured, the fund remains well positioned to navigate what lies ahead and to continue to deliver strong, long-term investment returns for our members. If at any stage you've got queries or concerns about your investment options and whether the choices you've made are suitable for you, we offer a team of financial planners who will be able to assist you. Those contact details will be shown on the screen at the end of today's meeting. I'd like to now hand over to our Chief Member Officer, Alexis Harrison.
Thanks, Andrew. Excuse me. Thanks, Andrew. Good morning, everyone. It's great to have this opportunity to talk to you today and bring to life some of the things we've been doing to help you get the most out of your super and achieve better retirement outcomes. Over the past year, we've invested considerable time and effort in improving the interactions you have with us and with your super and retirement savings. As Scott mentioned, Equip Super is here to help our members achieve the best possible outcomes for retirement. And my team, the member office, exists to provide you with the best products, services and experiences to support you through your working life and into retirement. Being a proactive partner as we support you on your journey to retirement is the essence of who we are as a fund and what we're here to do. We're equipping you today so you're better ready for tomorrow. Perhaps the most visible initiative over the past year has been the launch of our refreshed brand for Equip Super on 1 July 2023. Our members and employers told us they wanted a brand that reflected Equip Super today and where we're headed for future growth. Our brand is proactive, precise and positive. It represents us as a leading industry super fund and we know it positions us well for the future. Many of you will remember that we commenced a joint venture with Catholic Super in 2019. In tandem with the rebrand for Equip Super, we also took the opportunity to efficiently consolidate the various sub-brands that had been part of Catholic Super. We retired the My Life My Super, the My Life My Pension and the Transport Industry Super brands, with all members of these sub-brands moving across to be members of Catholic Super from 1 July 23. The simplification of our overall branding has improved the operating efficiency as a fund, and that helps us keep our costs lower for you. Another key project that launched on 1 July this year was our new website. Not only did we significantly upgrade and expand the content available on the Equip Super site, we also consolidated several branded sites into a single site for Catholic Super. That's again significantly improved the efficiency with which we can maintain and operate these sites, which ultimately translates to lower costs for our members. And I think that's a really important driver to highlight. We undertake these projects so we can deliver a better and more supportive experience for you. That's always our priority as a fund. But at the same time, we're mindful that we need to keep our costs as low as we can. Doing so means we can keep our fees lower, which means more of your hard-earned super stays in your account for your retirement. The Equip Super website now features a more intuitive structure and personalised content. We focused on the principles of human-centred design to help us create experiences that are personalised, friendly and educational. It's easier for you to find what you're looking for, and just as importantly, it's easier for you to take action to prepare for a comfortable retirement. We added a knowledge hub with 16 interactive education modules on super and retirement topics, such as salary sacrifice, transition to retirement, income in retirement, and insurance. And we've created extensive explore and learn sections with a whole range of information tailored to different life stages, so you can access information that's relevant to you and where you are in life. For example, if you're just getting started in super, we cover a range of topics from putting aside super for your future right through to preparing a budget for next week. It's information that's designed to help you get the basics right and form a solid foundation. If you're further along and already building your wealth, we look at how to manage your super and keep building that wealth with resources on investing and contribution strategies and links to our calculators. For those who are approaching retirement, we really start to focus on understanding the different pathways to retirement and what you might need to achieve that type of retirement that will suit your needs. And we look at some of the additional supports you can access to help you navigate that phase in life, such as the very important role financial advice can play, for example. And then for those who have retired, we look at how you can keep your money working for you throughout your retirement. So we cover retirement income accounts, your investment options, and how your investment needs might change as you move into retirement. And again, those broader supporting tools and services such as interactive learning modules, access to advice services, and links to our latest events and seminars. We've also developed new calculators to help you engage with your super and plan for your future. The Retirement Lifestyle Calculator can help you understand how much money you'll need for retirement and how long it will last. And the Super Contributions Calculator lets you explore the types and level of contributions that will give your super the optimal boost and possibly even save on tax. We've also expanded the unit price and investment performance dashboards for you too. In other digital developments, we refined and improved our mid-year digital account snapshots. In addition to the annual statement you receive from us, this online snapshot provides you with a mid-year check-in for your super. You can check your balance and compare it against other members in your age bracket and access tips and tools to help you grow your super and improve your retirement balance. The snapshot's due out in February, so please look out for it in your inbox. As you can see, providing support through education continues to be a key focus for Equip Super. And as a mid-sized fund that's perhaps more nimble than some of our larger competitors, it's one of the key areas where we can truly add value for our members. We were particularly delighted to win the Member Education Award at Super Ratings' annual Super Fund of the Year Awards in October this year. Such awards provide reassurance for you as a member to know that you're with a fund that's recognised by independent parties as working really hard to provide great education and support for you. One of the key stages where education and support is particularly crucial is when our members are making that transition from paid work into retirement. Around 55,000 of our members will move into retirement over the next 10 years alone. And we know just how much planning and preparation is required to make a confident and considered transition. We sought to deepen our understanding of members' needs at this time with a comprehensive research study in late 2022. And based on that research, we developed our innovative The Next Chapter approach to retirement. The next chapter is all about how we can give our members the right support at the right time and proactively partner with you as you approach your retirement years and throughout that retirement. For example, we call our members as they reach that point of retirement stage so we can establish meaningful contact at a vital time in your lives. We've created new retirement-specific resources for the website. We run face-to-face retirement seminars, And unlike many super funds, we've maintained our full suite financial advice offering to ensure our members have easy access to in-house quality advice. On the strength of the Next Chapter approach, we were named the Good Design Award winner in the Design Strategy category in the Australian Good Design Awards in September 2023. Another way we're equipping members for tomorrow is through our default insurance offer. And we know how important it is to ensure that cover offers value for money. We've been making some changes over the past year to refine and enhance the total and permanent disablement cover we offer. While that's resulted in a small fee increase for TPD cover for members, cover is now more beneficial for more members who find themselves in a situation where they need to claim. It's one area where we continue to lead the way. Money Magazine awarded us Best Value Death and TPD Insurance in Super for women and men again this year, and that's the third year in a row. In partnership with our insurer, MetLife, we've also been able to introduce the innovative 360 Health virtual care program, not just for members, but also for the spouse and children of our members. This is a confidential online service which gives you access to specialist healthcare in a range of areas. And it comes at absolutely no additional cost. It's simply part of your Equip Super membership. You'll find more information on our website, so please do take a look and avail yourself of the service. Lastly, I did want to emphasise how much value and we appreciate the feedback we receive from our members. Whether it's gleaned through research such as the recent retirement study I mentioned before, or regular surveys such as our Voice of Customer program, we're continuously working to better understand your needs, your goals, and how we can best support you. And of course, you can reach out to us at any time. If there's something we're doing well or something you think we can improve, please don't hesitate to let us know. We'll provide our contact details at the end of this session. But you can also get in touch via our website at any time. I'll now hand back to Michael to take us through the final agenda items for today.
Thanks, Alexis. That concludes our presentations for today, and I should express my appreciation for the presenters and also the team that put them together. Our last item, of course, is the Q&A, and we've received a number of questions. It's great to see such a high level of engagement from our members and interest. I'm going to just have a quick look here. Now, our first question is from Victor, who asks, given the current war in both the Ukraine and the Middle East, what is the likely impact on the share component, and what strategies is Equip Super adopting or recommending for members? So, Andrew, this sounds like yours.
Sure. Thanks, Michael, and thanks, Victor. So, look, I think while secondary to the significant human cost and personal toll for those involved, geopolitical conflict can also cause market volatility. But I think it's important to sort of reiterate here that history has shown that volatility brought about by such events, it does tend to be short-term and isolated to specific markets. So in relation to Ukraine and the Middle East, we have certainly seen volatility, but the volatility has been in certain commodity-related sectors, such as oil and agricultural commodities. However, markets more generally have operated with normal levels of volatility. And of course, this can change at any time as the situation evolves, and it's certainly something we're monitoring extremely closely. I mean, in terms of the portfolio, it comes back to diversification, and we do believe that a well-diversified approach is going to be the best tool we have to manage the ups and downs of markets, while also ensuring we have that long-term approach, and that's absolutely key and something I touched on earlier. And generally speaking, it's the same philosophy we endorse for our members, and I think that's a really important point. So when it comes to investing their super and retirement savings, so keep that long-term focus. I mean, if you would like financial advice, and Alexis just touched on it, that's specific to your own circumstances and goals, our team of financial planners can help. And just to highlight here, you can book an advice appointment on our website, or contact the team directly. We'll be showing you the contact details at the end of today's session. Michael.
Great, thanks Andrew. That's terrific. We also had a number of questions from Michael, so I'll just focus on a couple for now, and remember anything that we don't have time to respond to directly today, we'll be putting into the minutes of the meeting, and they'll be on the website in January next year. So one of Michael's queries was around advertising. Why has Equip started radio advertising, and is this in the best interest of using the members' funds? So Alexis, would you like to make a couple of comments?
Absolutely. So as Scott mentioned earlier, as a fund, our purpose is to support our members to prepare for financial freedom in retirement, and our strategy for growth is essential to help us do that. That's because growing our fund allows us to achieve greater economies of scale, which increases our capacity to deliver a range of important benefits for members, such as greater value for money, broader investment expertise, a wider range of investment opportunities, and better member services. And one of the ways we seek to grow the fund is by growing our membership. And this year we selected radio advertising just in targeted markets to increase awareness of the Equip Super brand and attract new members to the fund. It's also a great way to extend our reach when it comes to communicating and connecting with our existing members. These ads serve as a reminder of the products and services we provide and encourage our members to engage with us and with their super in general. The reach and efficacy of any advertising we do is carefully monitored against clear targets to ensure it represents a measured and justifiable use of fund resources.
Thanks, Alexis. Scott, I'll pass the next question that's from Michael over to you. His question is, what member directors on the board currently work in the industries that the fund has members in?
Okay, happy to answer that, Michael, and thanks to the other Michael for asking a couple of questions to us. So, under our legislative and regulatory requirements, our board's structured to include, it's structured as a representative model. So what that means is that we have 3 independent directors, we have 3 employer directors, and we have 3 member directors. And so to be eligible for nomination as a member director, there's a number of criteria that you need to satisfy. The first is that the fund, you have to be a fund member for at least 90 days before nomination as a member director candidate. And then you need to be able to satisfy the board that you have a direct, substantial and relevant connection to the fund's membership base or to an industry that employs a significant number of the fund's members. And that's to ensure that you have a deep understanding of the member's perspective because that will continue to inform the trustees' decision making. And so we have, and Michael, you put it up earlier in the presentation, the directors that we have, and the 3 member directors are David Doolan. So Dave, I'll talk to David first. I mean, David's had more than 25 years experience in corporate treasury and finance roles, his extensive financial markets expertise. He's worked for a number of global organisations across diverse range of industries, and those industries include mining, the automotive industry, financial services and manufacturing, all industries which our members come from. The second member director is Matthew Casson. Matthew has had 25 years experience as well within banking and finance industry, including at the executive level role. And he's had those roles within the Catholic Development Fund and Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So again, with that that Catholic Development Fund clearly has that connection. And then Julian Widdop, you talked about Julian. Julian's come on board from the 1st of July of this year, and Julian's had over 15 years experience working in the super industry. He's had significant board expertise in governance, business, finance, risk management. He's a qualified actuary, an economist, and in those roles he's advised major super funds, but including the Australian Catholic Super Retirement Fund, I serve as a director of a number of Australian international companies, including the Australian Catholic University and Catholic Schools of New South Wales. But if you would like to find more information about our directors, either member, employer or independent directors, then that's available on our website.
Thanks, Scott. That's very clear. We've got a question now from Donald, and his question is, what are the executive team's objectives for the 2024 year? So, Scott?
Sounds like one for me. So, as we've said all through the presentation today, as a fund, our purpose is to support our members to prepare for that financial freedom in retirement, and we've also talked about our strategy for growth, it being essential to helping us achieve that. So, growing our fund is a significant focus for the reasons that we've talked about. It allows us to achieve greater economies of scale, which increases our capacity to deliver a range of important benefits for members, such as greater value for money, broader investment experience, a wider range of investment opportunities, and also keeping up with that ever-increasing regulatory and compliance requirements and better member services. So with all of that in mind, when we look at the executive's key objectives for the 23-24 financial year, they're really into three buckets. Firstly is to grow the fund via both inorganic growth, but also as well as organic growth. And Alexis talked about member retention and growing our member numbers. The second component is deliver competitive net returns, relevant quality products and services, including education and advice for our members. And the third part is connect. So it's really important that we foster stakeholder confidence and trust among our member and employer communities, regulators, the broader industry, and our people. So the three, grow, deliver, connect is a key focus of us as executives for the next year.
Great. Thanks, Scott. There's some really good questions here. Now, we've had a multifaceted query from Loanne, who is looking to potentially roll over their other super into an Equip super fund, and would like to understand more about the investment performance as well as retirement plans and income after the age of 67. So what would you suggest here, Alexis?
There's lots to suggest, Michael, on that one, I think. As a starting point, there's a range of information on our website about our investment options, including how they're invested, the return objectives for each option, as well as the monthly investment option performance. So just head to the investment section of our website for that information. The website is also an excellent source of information, tools and resources to help you confidently plan for retirement and better understand the various options available to you for maximising your savings and retiring well. We've also got a range of financial advice services that could provide you with some more direct support. These range from straightforward advice on your Equip Super accounts, so things like investment options and which will suit your needs, or what types of contributions would work for you. Or in this case, assistance with making a rollover into your Equip Super account. In most cases, super advice is provided at no extra cost. It's simply a part of your membership. And then for more complex financial advice needs, for example, broader contribution strategies or more detailed retirement planning that takes into account your specific needs, we offer a comprehensive financial advice service, but fees do apply to this service. But as a starting point, I'd suggest contacting our advice team either via our website, or we can provide a number at the end of this session, and we can have a chat and even refer to you one of our financial planners if that's what you'd like to do. It's worth noting the initial consultation with the planner is at no extra cost, and you're under no obligation to proceed with that service if you don't wish to.
Great. Thanks for that. Well, the time's gone very quickly this morning, so unfortunately that's all we've got time to cover in today's forum. All of the questions that we've received, including the ones that we didn't get to, will be available on the Equip Super website in January. So in closing, I want to take the opportunity to reiterate that as your super fund, our purpose is to support you as you prepare for your financial freedom in retirement. That means delivering strong long-term returns whilst also keeping our fees as low as possible. And it also means providing you with the personalised service, the support, the guidance, the advice that you need to achieve the best possible retirement outcomes. On behalf of the board and the management team, I again thank you for your time today. We look forward to continuing to support you on your super and your retirement journey. So if you have any questions about today's meeting or about your super, please call the helpline on 1800 682 626, and it's open between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m, Monday to Friday. So that number again, 1800 682 626. So that concludes our 4th annual member meeting. Thank you very much.